Okay, anytime you're ready.
Okay, the opinions you're about to hear are not the opinions of this office per se, but rather just the opinions of myself. Um, Although 10 minutes from now I may have different opinions. But that being said, why would I have some issues with U.S. foreign policy in Iraq and Afghanistan? What about Libya?
Oh, we haven't talked about that yet.
Oh, okay. Well, okay. One thing I do support, one thing I am in favor of, is the U.S. trying to help people in need, help people who are being oppressed, try to alleviate suffering whenever we can, as long as it doesn't then, in turn, injure us or negatively affect us in ways that are just too much. So, you try to maybe go in and help out in places that are having civil war, for example, or where civilians are being killed by some despot, some dictator. But in those two countries, there was a lot more involved than just some guy or some group of guys, killing other people. That's certainly a bad thing. But there's a lot of things like oil involved, a lot of history involved with those two countries. History goes way back. I think kind of how we sometimes do things, we sometimes rush in too quickly. Sometimes we make some big time judgment mistakes. We make logistical mistakes sometimes. I think that also you have to consider, okay, how much does this particular country, is there a majority of people in that country that really want to band together and improve their own country? Because if a country is so fractured and there's so many groups in a country that you're really never going to have some sort of uniformity or strong leadership that's going to take the country forward in a positive way, then why are we going in there to do all this, sacrificing lives, to then have the country 10 years later be no better off, really? So it's kind of like, yes, you want to help those who can't help themselves to a degree, but you have to balance that with, you should really also try to help countries where there's a majority of people who do really want to help themselves and do really want to improve their country, and not just constantly fight amongst themselves and all that. And I don't really know whether these two countries, Afghanistan and Iraq, have a large enough percentage of people that are willing to put some differences aside and say, yes, we're going to do this on our own. We're going to create a better place for our kids on our own without some other, big brother coming and doing it for us. I honestly don't know that those two countries really have what it takes
All right.
to do that. So those are some issues I have.
Okay. Thank you very